In this quick video, I will show you how to import Facebook ads data to Google Analytics and where to find that data in the reports. To get started, go to Google Analytics Admin, then Data Import, and click Create Data Source. Here you can give the data source a name, for example, Facebook campaign data, then keep data type as campaign data, and then here in the import source, select Facebook, or actually Meta. Then click Connect. Here you should click Next. And here you will be asked to log into your Facebook account, but since I already have done that in the past, then I'm just asked to reconnect. And this is the most important part that will make sure your integration works properly. Here you have to enter the correct UTM source values that you're already using in Meta platforms, because then when Google Analytics knows what kind of values should it look for, it will then understand that this is coming from Facebook and it will import data properly. In this particular case, I'm running ads only on Facebook, therefore I will insert UTM source values only for Facebook. Now, if you don't remember what kind of UTM source value are you using, then you can go to Facebook Ads Manager. So that's adsmanager.facebook.com. Then open your ads and click Edit on those ads. Then scroll down until you find the URL parameters section. And in this case, UTM source is just Facebook. So this is what I will enter. In your case, it might be something else. But what's important is that across your entire Facebook ads platform, you are using the same consistent UTM source naming convention. Because if you have multiple sources, then it will not work. You have to use one. In my case, again, as I've said, I'm using Facebook. So I will enter Facebook right here. The reason why I don't see any matches is because this is a test account, so it does not have any data, but in your case, it should work properly. Then you can scroll down and enter medium. This is the second important part. In my case, I am using display, but if you're using something like paid or CPC or something else, then enter that. So here I will enter display. If you want, you can also filter and add additional rules. For example, maybe you want to import just data of particular campaigns or particular sources, not all sources. But in my case, I want to import all the data. That's why I will not be using any filters. So I will just close it right here. Then let's click Next, then Finish, and then click Done. So the configuration of the data import is done. Now you will need to wait for a while until that data is processed. Google Analytics will try to import the data of the last 24 months, which means that you will get also the historical data, not only that data which is tracked after you connect Facebook data source.
By the way, I release Google Analytics or Google Tag Manager tutorials every week. If you want consistent flow of fresh knowledge and to stay up to date, then subscribe to this channel. It will help us a lot.
If you later want to check whether the import works properly, and you can actually check the daily status, you can go back to the data import section in the admin panel, then select the Facebook data source. And here you will see what you have entered. And also below you will see runs, which means that every time data was imported, you will see a new row right here. So I have paused Facebook ads for a while, therefore each day the number of rows is the same, but if I look at a bit older data, you will see that each day 2 new rows are imported. If at some point you want to delete this connection, you can then just click 3 dots right here and click Delete. Now, you might be wondering where can you see that data later in your reports. So let's take a look at some example. If you go to Advertising and then go to Key Event Performance, here you can see your top traffic sources, and next to Display, I have the ad cost data as well, because in my case, Display is covering the Facebook paid ads. In fact, I could probably switch to campaign and then add a secondary dimension, which is source medium. And then if I show more rows, here I will see the campaign, the traffic source medium, and then the ad costs, cost per key event, ads impressions, and so on. So this data was imported and then aggregated from the Facebook data import that we have configured. Of course, this data will not appear immediately. You still need to wait for a while until that data is imported. But right now we're looking at another account which has connected Facebook to Google Analytics for a while. And that is how you can configure data import from Facebook to Google Analytics. If you found this video useful, hit the like button. That will help me understand what videos do you like and what should I create in the future. Also, if you want to learn more about Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics, then subscribe to this channel. My name is Julius, this is Analytics Mania, and I'll see you in the next video.